Hi everyone, I'm Heather Trautz and I'm an art and technology teacher. Um, my main objective here today is just to share a few home lessons with you with art and technology. Some days I will be using hands-on art, and other days I can show you some programs that are free that you can use on the computer if you have a computer, or even sometimes on your phone. My main objective here is to get the parents that are homeschooling just nice and relaxed, kind of like my beanie here. This Chihuahua has had it. He knows that I've been quarantined for a week and a half, and I started dressing him in Hawaiian shirts, so I think it's time to move on. So, like you, I need some relaxation, and I'm ready to do some art. So my main objective here is to use things from home, so you don't have to leave your house to use any of this stuff. So it would either be, like I said, a free online program, or it would be elements in your house that you already have that you could create art with. So like pencils, we usually have pencils, okay? For us to actually collect all our artwork, I thought it would be cool if we used something that we could make a sketchbook out of and just consolidate all of our artwork into one. That way there's no mess. It's all in the same spot. And for my students, I'm going to give them extra credit if they go along with some books after they read it in Epic. Then they can actually draw some of the elements and the illustrations and doodle on some of the pages after we're done. So each time we have a lesson, we're going to have some sort of different element that we're going to put into the lesson. It might be a different subject matter, but we're going to put it inside a book. So this is an old book. It's a book that I found 10 years ago. I have like a stack of them at my house, and they're old encyclopedias made from 1950. So obviously it's not going to get anybody upset if I use this book. It needs to be totally updated with information. It's the book of knowledge from the 1950s. So there's a lot more knowledge that has gone on since then. So students that are trying to find a book, please don't just grab a book that's in the house. Ask your parents if you're allowed to have that book, if it's old enough, and if you can do things to the pages. Parents, if you want to get involved with any of these art projects, you don't have to use a book. Everybody can use single sheets, everybody, including students. But if you're going to use a book, make sure it's something that you're okay completely redoing. So for instance, I have pages like a welcome page with my initials and bubble letters, and just papers that I keep on gluing on top of each page. Each subject matter, each lesson will be different inside the book, but we're gonna make sure it's covered, all that. I don't want to keep on talking. I want to change views with the camera so that you can watch me make things, and then we can talk about elements that you'll need. Again, we'll be using things that could be in your home, like if we need to use paint or glue. We can use egg cartons to put them in, and you're gonna see all that in the videos. I'm just excited to have fun with you, and I'm excited to see the posts and like what you're doing, and we'll just be nice and relaxed like Beanie here. We need a couple things. One, you're going to need your book, the book that you want to turn into a sketchbook, okay? Then you're going to need a brush to use glue with, some household glue, just Elmer's will do, something simple, okay? So there's the glue, the book. Then you need some scissors. I'm going to use some fabric. You can use all paper depending how you want to cover this book up. But scissors are going to be required. And I wanted to teach you through this whole lesson how you don't necessarily need to go out to the store to buy certain things. Egg cartons work great to hold paint and glue, and in our lessons we're definitely going to paint, we're definitely going to glue, we're going to do all these things, but I want you to know certain things that you can use from your household to create these projects. So egg cartons are what I'm going to use. In fact, I have two people with me today. One is my daughter and one is another teacher, Miss Sandy Tate. So she had cut some up for me because we're going to share. But easily, if you have a whole family working, you can cut them up in smaller pieces, the egg cartons, and still use this part to work with. So those are them. And then the lids become fantastic ways to use paint, egg carton lids. It's just very good to use, okay? So you're going to need those things. The other thing is you're going to need paper. Now, what kind of paper? That's all up to you, because our first thing we're going to do is a doodle. But you're going to need paper wherever you find it. You can use white paper, colored paper, recycled paper. You can use newspaper. If you don't have any paper, you can use newspaper. And Rosie, my dog, because we're home, is making really weird noises in the background. So as I fold over to cut, I can see kind of where this first page is. And then I undo it, and wow, voila, I have my edges that I need to cut off. Folding is a really neat way that you can figure out how big your paper is. Use it. I will. Do you see how I'm taking this paper and I'm just going over the book, and now I'm just making creases. First we folded, but now I'm showing you how to crease. This will also make an area where you know where you need to cut. So now with this pink paper, I am going to take it, and here I have my cuts all folded right there. So I have older glue, so I can just pour it in there, right in the egg carton. And why I have the brush on the side here is I'm going to dip the brush in the glue, which you need to wash this brush out very, very nicely when you're done. And I can just put the glue right on the book. I have Miss Tate here too doing it right on the side here. She's dipping her brush in my glue because I'm sharing nicely. So here I have this nicely glued page, and the cool thing about this is I'm going to put this paper on here. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is my book. This is my sketchbook. Now I have this clean white canvas. As you all right, for this next one, I'm going to continue, and the cool thing is mine's a little wet still, but we're going to talk about that too. If you have a wet page, you can always use a hairdryer from your house, and you can just plug it in and you can just dry so that it's drier for you to start. I thought a neat introduction would be, this is your introduction page. It's about you, right? So I am going to show you how to do bubble letters, and the way I do it isn't necessarily the way everybody does it. There's no wrong or right. Miss Trautz loves to say that. There's no wrong or right. It's just try your hardest, right? Because art, it's all about how you see it, right? So I'm going to do my initials, which are hat. So neat, right? It's Heather Ann Trautz. So I am going to start out lightly with a pencil. All you need for today's assignment is a pencil. You need your first page of your book, or if you haven't found a book, just any sheet of paper to do your introduction, because you can glue it later or not glue it, up to you. So I'm going to lightly draw H on the paper. There's a large H on my paper. And then I'm going to do an A and T. So I have those light letters, H Now I'm going to draw around them. And we're going to zoom in a bit to do that. A. And you could do your front page any way you want. It's up to you. It's your page. So I'm going to outline and marker my first page, what I have. The T, going around the T. You can see how fast I'm drawing. I'll erase these later. You don't have to use marker. This is your sketchbook. I'm using marker because I want you to be able to see it. So I'm erasing the inside. So I'm going to use purple marker so you can see. So I have that H-A-T. Oh, this came out a different color than what I expected. Again, I want mine a little bit graffiti-like. I like that style. My students love when I draw their name on their stuff. I love it too. Miss it very much. So there's my initials hat. And I'm going to go and I'm going to color this in. But that's our first page. Our first page is just about you, your initials or your full name. And draw imagery all along, because each page, it's your book, it's your paper. Each page should be filled. So if I was gonna draw some other things, maybe I just do some designs around my name. They could be anything. Mine's gonna be modern art. More modern. The cool thing is you started your book. I'm using any kind of markers that I found in the house. Maybe I have stripes going through. It's a design I'm going to have to work on today. You'll see the final product. But that's page 1. It's really just about us.